How are you? Feeling good?
Doing great. Welcome to the video arm wrestling fans. Today we have a special guest with us, Mindaugas Tarasitis. Welcome, brother.
Hello, Pradeep. This is my skinny biceps. Not really visible, but hopefully it will be strong tomorrow.
Definitely. I was about to ask you, like, no disrespect, but you may not be one of the most physically intimidating looking guys. And that can be sometimes advantageous for you if you are arm wrestling a new guy. I know, like, right now, everyone has seen you, what your level is. But in the beginning, I'm assuming when you were in youth or junior, it may have been very beneficial for you. Like sometimes people may have underestimated you. Was that ever the case?
Yeah, I think it might work in my favor because, and even now, I was looking at some of the pictures from Oleg's Instagram. He looks so jacked and muscular these days. And then I'm comparing myself to those images. Like it's the difference is crazy. So I'm pretty sure that even nowadays I can trick people into somehow not being scared of me.
All right. So, guys, first things first, I have a couple of requests for you. First, please subscribe to Mindaugas Tarasitis arm wrestling channel. I've tagged that in the comments and in the description. And second of all, subscribe to Arm Wrestling Gods YouTube channel. They are having almost 1,000 subscribers, and Mindaugas is going to have a match tomorrow. Is it tomorrow for you also?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow against Oleg Tudorean from Moldova, right-handed super match. Please, it is going to be amazing. So subscribe to both of the channels. You can watch it on Arm Wrestling Gods YouTube channel. Am I right about it?
Yeah, I think so.
So the super match is going to be best of 5 or best of 6?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I remember I asked the organizer, but I don't remember now. Doesn't really matter.
So they have a poster about the super match. Is it mentioned on the poster? Not really. Nope.
No.
Not mentioned. So so what did they tell you when you asked them? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
Missed
that's the
that.
thing. I don't remember. It could be best of 5 or maybe not sure about this at this point.
So
But
should I interpret this as great level of confidence that you don't even care how many rounds it is? You're going to win it anyways.
For sure, I'm confident. Yeah, for sure, very confident.
And this
We
is
can talk
what
about in a couple minutes.
this is what I like about you, Mindogs, the most. Like when I saw you on Neil Pickups channel, I don't know who you were talking about, but you mentioned that I I had a practice session with that guy, and to be honest, I didn't even feel that guy. Like he had nothing for me. I don't remember exactly he was. And some guys find it offensive. I absolutely love that attitude. And on the opposite side, when you were asked by Coach Ray, do you think you can beat Bojidar right now? And you clearly in one word said no. I don't think I can do it right now. You're saying so. You are very clear both ways and very like well clearly spoken, not really politically correct and creaming the words that you're going to speak. So this is what I really like and appreciate about you, brother.
Oh yeah, I do like to talk some trash. Sometimes maybe even too much, even if I'm not confident. But I don't know. I find it very funny sometimes because it just sometimes it makes some people angry, and I like seeing my competitor being a bit angry towards me because then I know that he'll bring some maybe the best of him. And
So if I'm correct here, you are 30 years old arm wrestler from Lithuania, and you have competed multiple times in WAF. So what would be your best performance in WAF till now?
so I think maybe I'm the most proud of the second place at Worlds after Artur Makarov.
19 it was.
Or I think it was 18.
18. Okay, 18.
And then I managed to get that one win against him, which felt really good. Especially because in the semifinals, I also beat Talgat Akhtayev. So it felt like a very good run. Yeah, so I wasn't too sad about losing the last round. It was still a great performance.
And guys, we will get to the chats in a minute, not just the super chat if there is any. We'll try to read all the comments. So you have mentioned that arm wrestling was definitely not number one in your priority list when you were young. You were more into athletics, more into swimming. So are you still somewhat interested in those sports or those events, or are they left behind right now?
Yeah, swimming. You mentioned swimming. I kind of forgot swimming for a while, but I think when I moved to Denmark, we have so many beaches in Denmark. You know, it's like the highest distance from any point in Denmark to the beach to the sea is only 50 kilometers. So you have so many ways to enjoy the sea, you know. And I started diving, like pre-diving a little bit, and now I'm doing a lot of spearfishing. So I found out that swimming is somehow still very fun to me. So I try to do it as much as I can.
My story is also kind of similar. I was interested in athletic swimming. I was always constantly thinking about swimming and athletics throughout the day. And then it somehow shifted towards arm wrestling when I was about 20, 22 years old. So I think you're around 6'2", 6'3", maybe. And how much are you weighing right now? You have competed in 75 for about 2, 3 years at least, I guess. So what is your current weight for this match?
I think I'm more like 5'10", if I'm correct with the numbers. I don't think I'm over 6 foot. Like,
Oh, maybe I was confused.
but yeah, my weight is now 77 kilo. I just checked this morning. So yeah, cannot really gain anymore. But feeling good at this weight. Yeah. I think I got a little bit stronger in comparison to my 70 kilo days. And if needed, I can still reach 70. I'm pretty sure.
So before we get to your match against Oleg Tudorean, try to get back a little bit in the history, because if we only talk about this match, I may not have much to ask you because I'm not really knowledgeable about your opponent. So let's go back to the rivalry against Engin Terzi. When the first time you defeated, I think it was the first time when you defeated Engin Terzi, and you're primarily a top roller, but Engin took your wrist and you were still able to press through Engin Terzi's top roll with a flop press. That was really amazing because that is coming from a top roller. So how did that match go? Was it at Zloty or where it was?
Zloty, 70 kilo. So it's quite low weight for Engin, I guess. Yeah, it was a weird match. Like to be able to finish Engin in that way is very unusual to me. But I guess maybe it was not my strength in that area. Maybe it was mostly Engin somehow struggling, maybe some joint pain, maybe something like that. And then the next time he came back, he was already much bigger and healthier, so he took care of me. But yeah, maybe we can meet again someday. I'm not against it.
So when you guys had a rematch where Engin won 6-0, I think it was, what weight cap was it? 75 or 70 still?
No, I think initially we planned to do it at something quite low, like 73, maybe something like that. But we ended up, yeah, I think he was a bit bigger than that. Yeah.
All right. So as you already said, maybe in the future. So what can you do differently right now? Like, did you make any mistakes, or was Engin just way too much strong for you back then?
Well, he was stronger for sure, but then maybe it was in some way my mistake. At that time, I could say a lot weaker than I am now. Like I was not yet on my meat diet. And now, yeah, I had these 2-3 years of good carnivore or keto, so which made me really a lot stronger. So I think I wasn't at my best in all the things combined, like even training or diet and everything. I think I improved a lot afterwards. And I think now I'm at a very, very comfortable place where I know exactly what to do at which point, so I can really come in a very good shape and confident about myself.
So I would like to get into a little bit about arm wrestling with WAF and contracts and stuff. Not necessarily contracts, but restrictions and obligations sometimes. So what happened at European Arm Wrestling Championships? Because you were the winner there, right? If I'm correct.
I won second place.
Second place. You had the silver. So What was the story? Like, I personally know the story, but I would like you to tell the fans what really happened out there.
Okay, let me remember. So yeah, the championships happened in Vilnius, which is the Lithuanian capital, which means my country, but I had to fly back from Denmark. And I think they were asking everyone who previously participated in PAL events to sign some document, which looks like quite a stupid document, to be honest. It says that WAF is the best and the sole authority in arm wrestling, blah blah blah, and you cannot. So it's just a weird document. But nobody really asked me, and I didn't know about that until the competition was somehow over. I heard people speaking about some document like that, but nobody really asked me to sign anything. And only after I finished the competition on the right hand, only then Mirsha invited me to the secretary table, and he wanted me to sign that paper. And I don't know, I don't really want to sign any documents which somehow say that I belong to that WAF competition, or you could say a league. Then I'm not really getting any money, any profits, nothing at all. It doesn't. So why would I lock myself in? And meanwhile, if I sign it and I compete somewhere else, then I cannot come back ever. Right? So it's maybe I will not sign it for now. If I want to come back to WAF, I can still do it. I can sign it, but now I can compete everywhere. So I don't know. I just felt. It was, of course, a very bad experience because you won your silver medal at Europeans, and then you are being treated in a bit weird way. But I wasn't surprised, to be honest, because I knew that WAF is quite corrupt nowadays. So it's just quite a sad story, especially because many new people, many are being I don't know what can I say. Well, maybe I don't want to say too much, but overall, WAF is a little bit. The atmosphere is not very good, so I'm happy that I can skip some of these.
So this is why you didn't compete in this year's WAF, last year WAF?
Yeah, so I went to Europeans, and I was expecting to go to Worlds before that. I even kind of went a little bit light on Prokopchuk because I thought, okay, we are at 75 kilo. I didn't feel my elbow to be in a perfect shape. I thought, okay, I will not push it. I will wait another month until the Romanian tournament. And then I would go down to 70 and then push hard, try to win the golds. But yeah, after that happened, I really, it's not much fun to compete at that tournament. So yeah, I'm just skipping that for now. And it's a bit sad because I'm also not invited to any more of the Engin's events because of that. Engin is also asking me to sign that paper because if he does not, then he is in trouble in his own, back in Turkey.
So, Engin's events are also associated with WAF. They're supporting to carry out those events in some way.
Mostly, I think they are not really supporting WAF, but they cannot choose, right? They have to put that WAF label on them because otherwise, maybe they will somehow. Maybe they'll get the same problems as the PAL, right? Maybe they will be attacked like that. So I think that's the main issue.
So my question was, you have finished second. If in your country, if you finish first at WAF, if you win a gold medal in seniors, do you have any kind of support? Do you get any kind of support from the government in Lithuania? Yeah, that's the thing that, I can quite easily say no to any kind of documents like that because I don't get any money, even if I win. Sometimes I think in some years we had a little bit of support. Maybe they paid for the ticket to fly, but it's still at the end you are losing money every time. So I'm kind of free, I can do whatever I want. But our countries like Turkey, for example, they are really under the,
strict control, right? Like if they do something like that, they lose the money basically. So it's hard for them. You can see what happened in Georgia.
Right.
Yeah, imagine all these Georgian athletes losing money.
Yeah, they were not able to compete anywhere in this year's WAF. So I never understood this type of banning stuff. If you're providing, if you have contacts with the government of a country and they are providing them money or some kind of financial support, then I believe you have all the rights to ask the athletes to sign a document where it says that you cannot compete anywhere else. But if you are not giving them any money or any other financial support, then I don't understand why do people believe that they should have the right to control someone.
No, and they don't. Of course, they don't. But it's they are trying to make as much money as they can, and sometimes in a corrupt way.
So
But
PG, yes, sir.
But yeah, we cannot do much about it. I guess like everyone has to wake up and fix that if they want to.
So a lot of guys are saying hi, hello in the chats, and PGR is saying Mindaugas thoughts against Tony and Sam Harris. Both have beat Yanis Omolins.
Yeah, I wonder if they beat Yanis in their best state or not. I don't think Sam. Yeah, I should see those matches, but I think Yanis could probably beat them both at the moment, and I would also beat them both at the moment.
All right. Yeah, I've
but Sam is not a problem.
I've seen those matches. They kind of went back and forth. Sam also defeated in last couple of times he has faced Yanis Omolins. He has defeated him. So Savage Arm Wrestling is asking, please ask about your matches with Daniel Prokopchuk. Full offensive arm wrestling versus defensive arm wrestling. 100% my favorite matches, and what's on the table.
Is the guy asking about to comment about the matches, like, or
yeah, your matches? So how many times have you faced each other? And looks like from what we have seen on the internet, like he has a better record on you.
Yeah, I think he has a better record at this point. Luckily, I was still happy about this super match we had last year in spring, I think, in Turkey, where I did beat him. But and I think after that match, I kind of found some kind of technique, I could say, which I could use in the future. And of course, I'm always thinking about the guys, so hopefully I can maybe keep winning in the future. But the previous matches, yeah, for sure, my technique is struggling against his technique. Like it's he has a short arm but a very strong elbow. It's hard to finish him because I have to somehow press him downwards, and there's no good support to myself. Like I cannot really hard to generate that pressure. Meanwhile, he's sitting on the elbow pad, and nicely. He's nicely supported, and this flop wrist is so hard to finish if you are. Yeah, normally maybe you notice that even any new guy, if he's flopping, it's just a bit harder to finish him. You almost kind of have to slip and then push him downwards. So yeah, maybe I even have to work on my hook to solve that problem. Like, I am working, so let's see. Maybe I can. But yeah, as always, I always say that like I'm good at beating hook pullers. Hook pullers are good at beating triceps press or flop wrist. Like for example, Cherkasov can beat Daniel.
Yeah.
But then I'm losing against these flop wrist pressers. But yeah, maybe not for long. I think I'm starting to improve in that area as well.
You made a really good point about beginners. So when I was in my first 2-3 practices, I was having good matches against a guy in a hook, good practice sessions. But whenever I took his wrist, I tried to top roll, I kind of took his wrist, and he saw that the flop press is working really well against me. Like I was in this position and I couldn't really understand how to go. And there was extreme pressure on that elbow in the beginning stages. And after that, I almost intentionally tried to not to top roll him or grab a little bit lower so that I feel comfortable in a hook. And that flop press was like really, really bad experience for me, especially as a beginner.
Yeah, now when you mentioned it, I also noticed that even here in Copenhagen, I'm training with someone who likes to flop, and I'm trying to not let him flop. Like that seemed like the easier route, like just to hook instead of top roll.
Top rolling, right? So let's get to your opponent from this topic. Straight forward to your opponent. Does your opponent have a flop press?
Yes, he does. But I was talking to him a little bit last week, I think. He might not be at his best shape in that flop wrist area. I think recently he pulled a lot of normal, like good hook matches. He didn't necessarily pull a lot in that flop wrist way, right? So I'm hoping that he will not be at that. I'm hoping that my strength will be enough to finish his flop. Right?
So I was also watching his matches. When I watched Oleg compete, he was really fast off the go in almost all of the matches. And when I watched you against your matches against Bojidar, he kind of took you off position and you had to defend in his offense. Against Daniel Prokopchuk, you were kind of centered, but not really in an offensive position. So can speed be a matter of difference in this match, or maybe it can cause difficulty for you if he's faster than you or not?
No, so for sure, when I look at him, I can see two dangerous things. One of them is just this violent speed. Like he's quite brutal at just attacking quickly. And another one is the ability to press a little bit, right? So I'm hoping that this press ability is maybe not good enough at the moment, so we can forget it. I will, if I take his wrist, I will be able to finish him. And then, the speed could be a problem, but I'm also quite good. If I'm coming in very fresh, normal, I can always catch people and stop the match. So, and then on top of that, I think this year I was working on the techniques in the club a little bit, and I think I found a very, very good way to low hand top roll. Like I used to do it before, but maybe not intentionally. I didn't really know the main details, little things. So and now everything is in my mind, and I have a pretty good way to top roll people. So even Bojidar, I'm interested what would happen against Bojidar now, because remember, there is a chance that if I beat Oleg now, the next match will at Armwrestling Gods. Yeah, is that the promotion? Armwrestling Gods.
Yes.
Match would be me and Bojidar.
At the same event, same place.
Same event. Another event, maybe 3-4 months.
So is it going to be you versus him, or the winner of this match versus Bojidar?
Winner of this match versus Bojidar.
All right. It's good to see that you're already confident that you are going to get that match. Amazing. So when I saw your video, actually, you mentioned that you are going to face Oleg Tudorean. I immediately noted that in my notes. And this was the first time that I heard about Oleg Tudorean. And I'm sure a lot of the viewers who are going to watch this video, the same case is with them also. They are going to hear about him for the first time. I did a little research. I tried to watch his videos, and on his Instagram, he has mentioned that he's a world champion, gold medalist. I'm assuming it may be in youth category, and silver medalist also at worlds. So that may be in the seniors.
Yeah. Gold is probably at in youth. Yeah.
And
but he's coming very close to being very good at the seniors also. Like I don't remember his results at Europeans and Worlds last year, but he had a very good fight with Bojidar. Seemed like could almost win against Bojidar. So no, I'm surprised that you haven't heard of him, because maybe he's more famous here in Europe, like since he's not speaking English too much. So, but yeah, for sure, just a beast. Yeah.
Right now, these events is starting from the East versus West events that were happening about one and a half year ago. Since then, arm wrestling has got a real good benefit about knowing the European arm wrestlers as well, because otherwise for the entire rest of the world, it was only about North American arm wrestlers and a few of the Australian arm wrestlers. But since last 1 or 2 years, Like all the world has started to know a little bit at least about. And once it is the thing that once you have promoted an arm wrestler from Europe, which is really high level, you do not need to do that once again, like every time. Like if 2020 or maybe 21, when Bojidar, I think Bojidar won that the 75 kg tournament, or best two out of three, that match you were also there. After that, I think 80% of the people who are right now knowing Bojidar, and you also, I think 70-80% of the world, I'm not talking about only Europeans, I'm talking about the rest of the world. So about 70% of the arm wrestling fans, I would say, know you from that event or after that event. So this is also a really good time in arm wrestling for almost every one of us.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Bojdar is building his name very well.
Right. So if I ask you that your favorite exercise is pull-ups, would that be a wrong statement?
Yeah, it's probably correct. Maybe lately I'm also adding a lot of triceps next to that because I think the balance is really helping me. So I'm very happy about the triceps exercises. But yeah, pull-ups is probably my staple, you could say. Maybe pull-ups is the reason I'm strong since my teenage years. I used to like pull-ups a lot.
So because when I go to your channel, I'm seeing that Mindaugas is doing pull-ups. Next time I go to your channel, I'm seeing Mindaugas is doing pull-ups with 40 kilos added weight. Next time he's doing with 35 kilos added weight. And that is really, I also really like pull-ups. About a couple of years ago, I was also trying to build up more and more weight. And I was able to get to one rep, not full rep, but about this much, about 3/4 of rep with 48-49 kilos. Then when I watched your video, I went back to it. I have not done any pull-up in like 7-8 months, I would say. And I tried to do that with 10 kilos and I could do only 3. That was really, so you kind
like
of
it a lot. I like it a lot because it allows you to push your limits a little bit without risking too much. Somehow it feels like if you cannot do it, you really don't get injured in any way, so it's just a safe, healthy exercise.
So there is one Zirakli Irakashvili in the comments. He's saying, I always struggle to beat Tudorean.
Yeah, Tudorean had a lot of matches with Irakli. You can find many of them on YouTube. And yeah, seemed like in those old days, like Tudorean was trying to also flop wrist press a little bit, and sometimes successfully.
And SSEN is in the chat. He's saying, live with the Tarasitis. It is interesting so far. He speaks very good English. Finally, someone who can speak English well. And I wish he could make another trip to Japan. I saw him arm wrestling the heavyweight national champion. It was cool to see Mindaugas be so competitive and controlling against someone so much bigger. I've not seen that video, surprisingly.
No, but yeah, the Japanese trip was so much fun. One of the guys from Japan just invited me, paid for a trip. So I happily accepted, and it was a great experience. Very exotic country, and in general, the arm wrestling culture was nice. They had some kind of, you could say, the tournament was held in some hall, but a little bit like underground, you could say, like good, cool feeling.
So did you do that? What they do before the match starts in front of the table?
Maybe I don't remember, but maybe a little nod, but not necessarily with hands.
In India also it is a culture, like when you meet the elders, when you wish them, you sometimes close your hands like that. So I'm assuming it is almost a similar culture here also, in Japan also. Savage Arm Wrestling is saying, sorry, I'm a huge Mindaugas fan. We all are. No need to be humble, man. Ask Mindaugas' opinion on wrist size debate between Ryan and Rob. How much his wrist size has increased over the years?
I think it can increase a little bit. So maybe I'm even on Ryan's side. Not sure how much. Maybe just a little bit.
I did one about 30-35 minutes video on that topic. Have you watched that?
Maybe, but I forgot.
I'll send you the link afterwards. It was, I first talked with Ryan Bowen for about 10-12 minutes, then with RVJ for about 10-12 minutes. I also gave them my opinion also, and then towards the end, if you know Leo and longevity, he's the guy
Yeah.
who's more studying and kind of he's into drugs topics and all of that. Then I took his opinion, so it was a really well collaborated video. People really liked it. So about your upcoming match, so how did this match come about, and is there, and I don't want to know the number, like is there a prize money for winner, or just prize money to show up? Like what is the deal there?
Very small prize money, like a couple. I think if I win there, like both matches, left and right, I bring home 600 pounds, which is not much. But the trip is paid, so still something. Mostly I'm doing it to stay in shape and to stay competitive. It's quite important to keep fighting these strong guys, because otherwise you might get lazy and not motivated. So that's the main reason I'm doing it. But we have a match. This English promoter, Tom Atherton, I think. I cannot maybe talk too much about how it really happened, because it's somehow connected to Tom Holland event. But so maybe let's not discuss it too much. But yeah, I just simply got offered the match, and I just wanted to make sure that the weight difference is not too big, because and yeah, then 80 kilo, under 80 kilo, it's good enough, I guess.
So let's get to the Tom Holland topic for a bit. Like when I was making videos, prediction videos about you and Tom Holland, I said that I think Tom Holland is going to beat, just based off if I'm assuming that both of you have similar level left and right arms. If your level is same, both of you left and right arm, I think Tom Holland is going to beat Mindaugas. And you're posting smiling faces, smiling emojis under the videos, and I think in the live chat also. So what was that about? Why do you think I was wrong in that prediction? Were you mad at me? What was it about?
I don't know. Let's not discuss it too much. Let's wait for the video. I'm sure. I'm happy. The match was pretty cool, and no injuries and nothing. So let's wait for the footage, and I'm sure you will all enjoy.
So your smile is saying that I was wrong.
No, not necessarily.
No, yes.
Normally, all of your predictions are quite good, and you clearly have some good knowledge. So, yeah,
But
in my mind, all of your opinions really make sense. So, good job.
okay, we will see. Yeah, I would say I've kind of have had track about my predictions, and I'm about 75% right with my predictions, about 75%. So I would say it is not really a bad number, and the number is good, 75%, because sometimes I leave the matches that I don't know anything about. If I was forced to like predict every match, then it would not be such a good record. Like I was not aware of all the athletes at East versus West 2 event. There were 16 matches. I made prediction about all of them, and I got 11 right. So I'm not sure if it's 75%, maybe less than 70, but it was because I had to predict every match, and some of the athletes I've heard very few, I've seen very few matches about.
But even if you fail sometimes, it doesn't necessarily matter, because sometimes the logic behind the prediction is still okay. Like for example, Tom Holland has a long arm. He might get into
hook,
bring me into a hook. Yeah, so it makes sense.
Right. And I made a prediction about that match, Prudnik versus Artem Morozov. I overestimated Morozov in that match. I said that I think Morozov can beat Prudnik. But when I was live commentating on the East versus West event, when I first saw Morozov against Tobias Sporong, he tried to top roll and his hand did not move. Morozov's hand was kind of bent back. I immediately changed my prediction at that very moment that Prudnik is going to kill Morozov. If his hand is failing against Tobias Sporong, there is absolutely no way that he's going to top roll Prudnik. I immediately changed my prediction right then and there. But it is difficult to make predictions because there are not many matches of Morozov available on the internet.
Yeah, and also you have to keep in mind, I think Morozov is more famous with his left hand. So also another maybe disadvantage because he's not that good on the right. But yeah, Prudnik looked very impressive, man. Solid.
And Richard is telling us that Philip Ritz has also defeated your opponent at Europeans.
Yeah, I saw that. So it helps me. I mean, I like seeing those losses of him. It makes me less scared, but still, yeah. His brutality and his speed looks very dangerous. Did you see his match versus Alain Guerra?
Yes, I had that noted down, but I kind of forgot. I did not know who he was at that time, but I remember that I watched that match when it happened on that very day, and I kind of remembered Alan Guerra's match with Ryan Bowen, because Ryan Bowen is someone whose level is kind of known at world level where he's standing, at least with the North Americans, not with the Europeans, but with the North Americans, and he kind of destroyed Alan Guerra. It wasn't even close. Like first he was flashing him, he was really fast, and in the end, I think he was also beating him in a slow match or something in the last round, maybe.
Maybe you could say that Ryan is somehow equal to Guerra, because it felt like Guerra was initially feeling comfortable and then Ryan just outlasted him. But yeah, and you can see how Oleg just destroyed Alan.
Yeah.
So, and also I saw that predictions video. You know, Tom Armwrestling got posted that. You probably saw it, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
So some people made predictions about the match between me and Oleg.
So it was Ryan SP, Engin Terzi, and a couple of more guys. Yeah, I did watch that. I did watch that.
And then Alan Guerra also was at the end, and he is predicting me to lose because he probably just got smashed so hard that he doesn't get it.
It always happens, brother. It always happens. Like even at the elite level, I have seen that most of the arm wrestlers are not able to keep their emotions out of their predictions. This is what I always say. Like the prime example that I give to everyone is Michael Todd. Michael Todd is a really emotional guy. He can never keep his emotions out of his predictions. If you're talking about Corey West, his training partner versus Levan, Michael Todd will take at least 10 minutes to convince himself to say that Corey West cannot defeat Levan. This is how much like emotional Michael Todd is.
He doesn't like that idea, man.
Yeah, same thing maybe with Alan Guerra. And when you get defeated by someone, you want that guy to beat everyone in the world. It makes you comfortable sometimes. So there you have it, guys. Mindaugas Tarasitis opponent destroyed Alan Guerra, who lost to Ryan Bowen, who was kind of equal against Ryan Bowen. So what Ryan was at that time, maybe your opponent could have done the same with Ryan Bowen as well. So the level is pretty high. So
sure.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you one final question that I have recently started asking everyone. And with my other guests, I've sent them that question to them in advance. But for you, it is going to be a surprise. I have not told you any questions that I'm going to ask you today. And it is the first time. I always give my questions to my guests before. So the question will be, what pisses you off? What annoys you about arm wrestling or arm wrestlers or arm wrestling fans? Anything related to arm wrestling? What annoys you the most?
So normally, nothing really annoys me. I don't care about anything at all, you know. But maybe I'm just a little bit sad about the situation with WAF. You could say that. That's for sure. But otherwise, yeah, I don't care. I think I'm very good at trash talk and mind games. Nobody can really make me angry or annoyed. You know.
All right, brother. Do you have anything else to add to say to our fans before we end this interview? Any message for us?
Good diet can bring you very close to juice levels. If you do it correctly, it's very good.
And what if the other guy is on good diet plus good juice levels? Then the gap is still that much.
Not necessarily. You know, normally these guys who go on juice, they fail pretty hard with diets. I don't know.
Is it
normally?
I don't think so. If you're juicing, I would assume that you kind of should feel the additional responsibility that right now you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. You better make the most out of it. So you also need to check all other boxes just to convince you. If I were juicing, I would be doing that for sure. Like I will be telling I'm doing something illegal. That's something I should not be doing right now. So I need to make sure that everything else is perfect, that I'm not wasting anything that I'm putting in my body.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you know what's right. You might want to do that, but you don't necessarily know.
So why not give us some diet tips since you mentioned that?
So animal products, animal fat, animal meat, keto, carnivore, no sugar. That works very well.
And since you mentioned animal products, is lactose intolerance a big problem in your country? I've heard a lot of people mention that in the Western countries, I'm lactose intolerant. I cannot drink milk or milk products. Personally, the people I know and I have met personally, maybe guys in the chat can also mention that I've never even heard anyone speak about lactose intolerance in my country. I'm not sure if people even know it, what that means, because nobody is lactose intolerant there. Maybe some guys are right now in the cities, but I've never met or heard about anyone that I personally know who cannot digest milk. Is that the problem in European countries?
So I'm not fully sure about it, but lactose intolerance maybe could be avoided if you are drinking milk which is not processed too much, not like homogenized and pasteurized, because when they heat it up a lot, they kill some of the bacteria, and that bacteria is supposed to help you digest the milk, right? And since it is dead, you cannot really do it on your own that easily anymore. So I think that's where issue comes from. Maybe in India, you're not necessarily processing milk as much, and maybe some of that bacteria is still in milk, and somehow maybe. But
no, we are same thing. We are boiling. We are drinking pasteurized milk. Once there were 1 liter packets, and I used to drink 2 1 liter packets at a time, standing there. I have never felt any problem like that.
Yeah, maybe it depends also on some other things. But that was at least my theory.
So, do you have any problems or not problems? Any future programs or matches planned out for maybe East versus West, or not East versus West right now, but maybe for King of the Table? Have you been contacted by anyone besides this match?
No. Well, I know that I'll probably go to Arm Wars again, and then
Because you have won that match.
Not because of them, just because like Arm Wars. But maybe IFA, maybe I'll go to Europeans and Worlds in France, and Europeans in Europe and Poland. Maybe some of these tournaments just to have some fun. And I heard something is still happening in Malaysia. Maybe it's Bloody Tour this year happening in Malaysia. Let's hope it works out. And then I heard also there's another tournament in Dubai, possibly. So yeah, I'll just try to see what I can do. But then, yeah, this year is still strange with vaccines a little bit. I can see my passport is maybe expiring in another 3-4 months. I'm not sure if I want to take another jab, so it's like, let's see. But yeah, whatever happens, happens.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for joining here. I cannot tell you how much I really appreciate so much high level elite arm wrestlers like you joining here on my chat. And guys, please subscribe to Mindaugas Tarasitis Arm Wrestling channel and Arm Wrestling God's YouTube channel, where you can watch the event tomorrow or maybe a couple of days from now, depending on in which country you are currently living right now. Thank you very much for joining, brother.
Thank you a lot, Pradeep. Good job.
Bye-bye.
See you soon again.
Maybe we can do one more time after you win this super match.